Hey everyone, welcome back. This is our first broadcast for our Thursday lives onto Facebook and to YouTube, and we are really excited to be back in 2021 for the new year to bring you new content every Thursday at 12:30 p.m. So for those of you that are jumping on with us today and are brand new, that's pretty much what our schedule looks like outside of our webinars and some other events and education that we do with trade shows and things like that. But you can always count on us to be here for some content, tips and tricks, anything heat printing related or customization related. Every Thursday at 12:30, it'll be myself, Kelly Walters, and Josh Ellsworth in the mix. So I see some folks joining and jumping on. I always love seeing where you guys are joining from. So feel free to comment in and let me know where you're located today. I am in Pennsylvania, just south of Pittsburgh. And it's a really beautiful day out. The sun's shining. It's been a while since I've seen some sun, so puts you in a good mood. But today's topic is all on personalizing drinkware. So for those of you that aren't subscribed to our YouTube channel, definitely head over there. We've been sharing a lot of customization and heat printing tips for 21 looks, just to kind of kick off the new year with new inspiration ideas. And one thing that we're kind of missing there, because we're always so focused on apparel and different accessories that you can use with a heat press, that sometimes we will overlook some other accessory items that are still really, really popular within the customization industry. And today, we are going to be talking about drinkware, and I am going to post a full-blown drinkware video on YouTube so that you guys can see all the different options that you have when it comes to being able to profit with different drinkware and different transfer types that you can use with that. But today we're just going to focus on one, and that is the really, really popular, I mean, I keep seeing these everywhere on social media and Etsy and Pinterest, are these Starbucks cups. So they're a reusable, dishwasher-friendly Starbucks cup. This is I think it's 24 ounces. It's whatever the venti size is. And we are customizing these with signed vinyl and doing really creative things with this. So I wanted to show you guys how you can do this too, because it really doesn't require anything extra than you're probably doing to do some of your heat transfer vinyl design. So it would be an easy thing to just be able to do, especially for gifting ideas and things like that. So we are actually going to head into our free online artwork program called CadworxLIVE. So if you guys haven't seen a tutorial on CadworxLIVE yet, or maybe this is the first time you're hearing about it, I definitely recommend checking out some of the tutorials that we have on CadworxLIVE. I'm just going to be scratching the very surface of this platform and all that you can actually do in it. So I definitely recommend, if you need a tutorial on this, we have several on our YouTube channel. Check it out there. But today we are just going to be doing a quick little template design so that you can easily be able to add a design or customization to this cup as a wrap. Okay, so I just want to kind of explain that a little bit better. Why you would want a template for this as opposed to just maybe putting a name on here, which is still something a lot of people are doing, but you can create stuff like this with it. And this is what I'm seeing trend a ton in those Etsy stores and on Pinterest, and people just creating it for fun. I think this is an ideal gifting opportunity, especially with Valentine's Day right around the corner. So I think that this is going to be a really fun project that you can implement because it's not anything extra that you have to add on, especially if you're already cutting heat transfer vinyl in-house already. Now let's talk real quick about where I sourced these and how much they were. So I actually got a 3-pack and it was from Amazon. And I'll be sure to drop a link for for exactly where I purchased them from through Amazon. But it comes in a 3-pack. It comes with the lids, it comes with the straws, and they were only $11.99. So pretty cheap for 3. And then these are selling for anywhere between like $15 to $18, depending on how much custom printing or personalization that you're doing on it. So it just kind of gives you an idea, maybe get your wheels spinning there a little bit about what type of things that you can do with it and the profit opportunity that's in it too. All right, so let's see. We have some comments coming in. Hello, Lily. Yeah, so Amazon is where I source the cups. Patrice Bella wants to know, where's your dog? He hasn't shown his face in these lives in a while. All right, so lots of comments coming in. Appreciate all of the feedback in the comments. If you guys have any questions throughout this, feel free to just comment those in. I'll keep visiting that while we go through this. All right, so back to my screen share. All right, so this is CadworxLIVE.com. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, once again, if you're just joining, we have tutorials on how to use this free online platform. Because, and why I say this, because I'm not a graphic designer by any means, and that's why I love CADworks so much, because there are templates and clip art and things that you can use in here and edit to make your own. And it just really helps to have this type of resource if you're not creating your own artwork in-house. Okay, so let's get down to creating these wraps. So it's actually really, really simple. I actually sourced the wrap SVG from KaylaMakes.com. All right, so she does a little template, and I'm going to drag this over so that you guys can see it. This is the template right here. It's a free download. All right, so you just hit download, it'll download an SVG, or you can save the JPEG and import and vectorize. That's the process that I will be using. So I'll go ahead and actually copy this into the comments so that you guys can download this free template as well. All right, so that is the template that we are going to import and vectorize within CADworks. So all I'm doing is going to File and selecting Import and Vectorize, and then I'm just going to select that download. All right, from here, what we're seeing right now is just an image, 2 colors, white and pink. What we need to do is create a vector file of this so that it becomes a cuttable image, okay? So what we're going to do is just select the background color. So right now it's saying background colors. I just want to select white. That is the color that we're going to get rid of so that it's not creating cut lines of that square. Okay, so whatever background color you're selecting, you can only select one. That is going to disappear, right? So next, my foreground color is pink. I can select as many colors as I want whenever I'm using this feature. So if I'm using an image that has several colors in it, I can pick as many, up to as 9, all right? So that's listed right there. So 9 different foreground colors. We're only working with one, so I only need to select that one, and then I'll select next. And what it's going to do is just create that vector cut for me, okay? So I can adjust region resolution or fit to curve if I need to. Those just really like for more advanced or more intricate designs, but we don't really need to do that. We're just working with one solid piece. So I'm just going to select OK as long as I'm happy with the way this looks. And now I have a vector cut of this wrap template, okay? So I'm going to go to wireframe, and that's going to show me my cut lines, right? So that is essentially what my cutter will be reading, right? But anyway, there are specific dimensions for this template. So you can see as I imported this, because it was a large image, it imported as 30.9 inches in width and 19 inches in height. So that is definitely too big. So what we need to make sure is that we are cutting it at the accurate dimensions so that it wraps around our tumbler. Okay, so the dimensions, once you measure this all out, are actually 10.9. It's actually 919. We'll go with 9.2. And my height would need to be 6.72. All right, so because it automatically adjusts my height for me because it's on a locked aspect ratio, what I need to do is unlock that. All right, so I will unlock that, and now I can adjust my height here without changing the width at all. All right, so I'm going to, all right, it says 6.72. Oh, it's already good. All right, so we're already good to go. 9.2 by 6.72. But if I did need to adjust that, that's all you have to do. Okay, so before I move forward, I'm just going to double check these comments, make sure that we are seeing, and make sure I'm answering all the questions. Okay. Daniel says Starbucks cups have been a good sell for almost a year now. Yeah, so see, already have people here that are profiting from this idea. All right, so yeah, I mean, that's how I came across it. I didn't come up with this idea all on my own. I'm just seeing a lot of other people doing it, and I think this is a really cool way to be able to customize these. All right, so template it's in the dimensions that we need it to be. Now what we need to do is create a pattern out of it. So let's do one of those really popular Dalmatian patterns. So I'm just going to go to Google and I'm going to find a Dalmatian print pattern that's free that I can just import in here. Whenever I am searching for a free pattern that I can use, I always go to Tools, Size, and then I select large because that's going to be the largest pattern that I can use. And I can just go ahead and import and vectorize that very easily. You want the best way to import and vectorize is to use a large file because it's easier to create cut lines from a raster image if it is a very large file. All right, so I'm just going to use this one. We can see I'm at a 15, essentially a 1500 by 1500, which is a really good pixelation for a raster image. So I'm just going to save this as Dalmatian print, and I'm just going to drop that onto my desktop so it's easy to find. All right, so now I'm just going to go back to CadworxLIVE, and I'm going to go to File, Import and Vectorize, and I'm going to go grab that pattern. And the same process. I'm just getting rid of my background color, selecting my foreground color, and then it's going to create those cut lines for me. Now, you'll notice this is going to take a little bit longer, not a ton of time, but the more intricate a design is, the longer it takes to kind of vectorize that. So now I'll just go and select OK. And now we've imported this. Okay. So now what I want to do is make this pattern part of this wrap. All right, so I'm just going to adjust this right over top. All right, so now all I have to do is go to back minus front. So I'm going to select both of these and go to shaping. And then this back minus front feature is going to punch that pattern directly through that wrap. All right, so right like that. So this is one way to do it if you want a solid, like a pretty solid piece there. All right, so I could have adjusted that a little bit better so that circle stays nice and clean. But another way to do it so that you're not working with a solid sheet like this is to make this a contour image, right? And then punch it through and delete the rest of the pattern, okay? So instead of me trying to explain that, I'm just gonna show you how that works. So I'm gonna double click this and I'm gonna go to Add Effect and do a combined contour. Now, some of you watching this that are in different platforms and different artwork programs are probably thinking, oh, there has to be an easier way. And there might be, but this is just how I've discovered to do it. All right, so I've created the contour, which means I've opened up that solid piece just by doing the combined contour feature. And that's one of the things that I love about CadworxLIVE is that it has a ton of features that allows me to just click it and it will do the rest of the work for me. Now what I want to do is bring this forward. So I'm going to go forward 1, and I can drag this on top. And now what we're doing is basically the reverse effect of what we did last time. And we're going to punch this through the pattern. All right, so we're just going to select both of those images, go to shaping, and select back minus front. I know in Cricut design software, there is a splice option that if you hover a pattern over top of a solid image, like what we're doing here, it will automatically create both of these versions just by using that splice feature, which I really, really like. All right, so I drug this out, but I'm actually going to take that back because I want to be able to see the borders of my wrap while I'm going through and deleting the stuff that I don't need. All right, so I'm going to zoom in. Right now we're at 100%. I'm going to go to 200 so I can get nice and close on this without adjusting the dimensions of my wrap. Okay, and now I need to get rid of all of the excess pattern here. So I'm going to select the pattern. I'm going to go to shaping, and then I'm going to select break apart by curves. Breaking apart by curves is going to allow all of those little pieces to pop up individually and read as separate cut lines as opposed to grouped ones. So now it's just going through and cleaning this all up. So really, it can be tedious depending on how intricate your pattern is. But I'm so used to doing stuff through CADworks that it just becomes second nature at that point. So I'm just going through and cleaning up the pieces that we don't need anymore. You can see that I'm keeping that pattern inside that wrap, and I'm just getting rid of the excess around it. Trying to do this without deleting anything from the inside. And then there are going to be like little cut lines that I don't want to have to worry about cutting or weeding. So like this one, for example, super teeny, super tedious. I don't really need that there. It's not a necessity. So I can get rid of like some of those really small ones that just aren't necessary, and I don't want to have to worry about weeding. This one can come out. Okay. All right, now we're going to go inside the circle and get rid of all of those. All right, at this point, I can go ahead and get rid of this border. Keep dropping this Starbucks cup. I'm going to hit delete and send that to back because it keeps getting in my way of grabbing this small one. I'll grab that one too. Okay. Now all I have to do is group all of these together by going shaping, condense. And then I just have to select a color for them, right? And now we have a pattern inside the wrap. So yeah, all I have to do at this point is just send the design to cut with my fine vinyl, and then you weed that out and mask it. So for those of you that are not familiar with sign vinyl and how that process works, again, bunch of tutorials on our YouTube channel that have that. That is a really quick and easy way to just create something like this. Now, there are a variety of other templates that you can use for personalization or custom sayings around the Starbucks logo here. So definitely check those out. My next step is probably going to try to just create the solid template and cut it out of our sign vinyl patterns. That way I can just have a full solid like decal wrap around it, which I think would be really, really cool. So stay tuned for that one. I'll let you guys know how it works. Now, I created a pattern earlier that is Valentine's Day inspired, that we're actually going to apply so that you guys can see exactly how we get this on the mug. Now, full disclosure, full transparency, whenever I cut this out on the vinyl cutter, I don't know if it was from transitioning my wrap dimension or design to Cricut Design Space, and something happened with something got manipulated or whatever with the dimensions. But I did end up having to trim off the edge because of this little, I don't know what you call this. It's just a different like layer or dimension. I have no idea. Just you get what I'm saying. This little line down here where the sign vinyl was kind of going over that, and it's just not flat enough. I would worry about that like falling off. So I wanted to make sure that I wasn't overlapping that. So I went ahead and trimmed it up. So I'm just saying that in case it happens to you, don't be afraid to just trim the edge a little bit. It was a tiny little sliver, just so that I could make sure that that wasn't going to be hanging over that edge there. All right, so whenever I put sign vinyl on a mug or a tumbler like this, I always put down a t-shirt just to kind of stabilize the cup so it's not rolling around on me. So that's what I'm doing here with this shirt. All right. This part makes me nervous. So I'm going to start with the larger hearts first. Reason being is because I know this piece right here is actually supposed to line up right against the logo. And that's just going to help with my alignment for the rest of the placement. All right, so, all right, here goes nothing. So I'm just going to remove this backing. And try to get this up there as best as possible. The color I'm using for this is coral. It's one of our new sign vinyl colors. All right, so I'm just starting from the center and I'm working my way around. All right, while I do this, I'm going to make sure that I'm not getting any air bubbles or anything in the sign vinyl. Right, so you can see right there, I didn't even trim it enough. So I'll have to go back and like slice that with a X-Acto knife or something. You can see that that template gets us right up to the edge there. So I don't know if my height or something got messed up whenever I was bringing the file into Cricut. Okay, and then gonna go center out to the other side. You can see my design isn't overlapping itself. It's just meeting exactly where it needs to. And I'm just using my thumb to put pressure on this and get out any air bubbles that could be underneath those that would keep it from having a good adhesion. And then I can just peel away this masking. At any point, if you see anything like lifting up and you're not giving it enough pressure from your thumb, you can grab a squeegee and just go stick that down. This is as advanced as I get with sign vinyl. I don't do a ton with it. Okay, and I made a mistake. I accidentally I overlapped my carrier whenever I applied this. So all I have to do is just peel that off of there, maybe. And then I can stick it down onto the tumbler. right, so it looks like it was supposed to go right about here. The beauty of sign vinyl, you can just stick it right back down. Okay. All right, so that is the large heart, again, done in the coral. Now let's do the rose gold hearts. And I created this the same way we just did with that Dalmatian pattern. Just back minus front, all of it. Okay. So let's see with this one, I want to make sure that I'm getting right up to that edge and then dropping down. All right, so just working center out, just repeating exactly what we did with that coral. Valentine's Day seems like it's right around the corner. What are you guys creating for Valentine's Day for your customers? What is like some of the most suggested stuff that you're getting for Valentine's Day? I'm excited to start creating stuff for it. All right, so just peeling this away. I love the way the rose gold has a little bit of that metallic sheen to it. So the way the light hits it makes it look so good. That turned out so cute. I love it. All right, so what I'm going to do is instead of taking an X-Acto knife to these ones on here, I'm just going to remove only two that actually overlapped down. And I wonder too if it has anything to do with, I've actually probably just moved this up and place them somewhere else. I wonder if maybe I sourced the wrong cups that don't have this little lip here. Don't know. But I want to say that's probably why we had the issue. Maybe the other, there's some out there that have that, and that's the measurement of that template. All right, I'll just this one here. Okay, so although these cups are dishwasher safe, we were careful with the vinyl. Honestly, we know that sign vinyl will fall off in the dishwasher once it's in there for a while. So we want to make sure that we are suggesting to our customers if we're not putting any code into this. Now, I know how familiar you guys might be with like, the epoxy process, which a lot of people will do on like ceramic mugs whenever they are using sign vinyl, because they want to cure it on there with that clear coating to ensure that people can still pop it in their dishwasher. I don't know how that process works with these tumblers, but if you're just going to do the sign vinyl, just make sure you're recommending hand wash only. All right, so two styles. This one was done in all rose gold. I do like how this one turned out with the two different colors there. The coral looks really, really pretty. I wasn't sure how the coral and rose gold would look together, but it turned out really cute. Hello, Texas Q. Thank you, Patrice. Yes, John. So yeah, no dishwasher. We want to make sure we're doing hand wash only. Hello from Kenya. Wow, thank you for joining. All right, so it looks like we are answering the questions. All right. Looks like we have all of the questions answered. Thank you, Stacy, from behind the scenes for handling this for me. All right, so that wraps up today's broadcast. Like I said, this is the first one back for the new year. I'm glad we got to do a fun little project. Do keep this stuff in mind. It's so super easy to create, and they are trending like crazy right now. So if you guys are looking for just a quick and easy add-on to some of your heat transfer vinyl sales on apparel, then this is a really unique way to do that. I will give you a sneak peek of one of the other projects that we did for Drinkware that's going to be shown on our YouTube channel in the next month or so. So this, and then also do a copper Yeti, a really cool washer product. So you guys will have to stay tuned for that and check out for that on the YouTube channel. But again, so much for being. We will be live with you guys next week. Be sure to stay tuned for that. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.